Hey guys, it's Dave coming to you from my office inside my house here in Southern Maryland. I don't do I don't record many videos from in here anymore. In my old YouTube channel, I did most of them from in here, but I have the paddock now. But I wanted to do a Freedom Friday video, and it's a two-parter. The first is really a document, um, the document section, and then I'll show you a product. So I've recorded uh, the first part here. I'm going to send you right in and let you take a look at the documents I've purchased, and eventually I'll move them to the paddock in the next few days. But I just want to show them to you, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Okay, guys, here's part one of Freedom Friday. This is what I was calling the document sections. I got these laid out on my kitchen table, but these are official original copies of our founding documents. So we have the Declaration of Independence printed on the same kind of parchment that the original was done. Same size as the original. Really nicely framed in under glass. And then we have the Constitution. So it's cool with all the articles. Same thing. This thing fits on one piece of paper in the old days. Can you believe that? It's two columns. Same kind of parchment. You can see it wrinkling and coloring, just like the original. I thought that was pretty cool. And then the last is the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to our Constitution. You can see the wrinkles on that one really well. You can see how small this stuff is written. Anyway, just to show you. So I'll hang those in the paddock as soon as I find the right place to do it. So I thought it was important to purchase the actual documents and hang them where I can see them and where they'll be a prominent part of all my videos. You know, that I think we've lost. Those are the foundation documents for our society, for our way of life, for our structure of law. So the Declaration of Independence, you know, the Constitution, and then the Bill of Rights, those first 10 amendments. And what's interesting, it actually, when you look at it, it actually shows 12. But I think we've lost that a little bit. Even here, even in our group, I think we've kind of, you know, we express a lot of opinions and all that, but I think sometimes it's important to go back to the facts, the basis, the documents, and I wanted to be part of that, to bring even to bring our country, to bring our conversation, even the YTPC or Team Freedom or whatever group you feel like you're a part of, to bring us back to a conversation based on these founding documents. I feel as if we're losing that connection to our founding fathers, to what this country was created for, and what we rest our society upon. So I wanted to bring those up and show them to you, and I just encourage you to read them. You know, I'll keep bringing them up, and I've brought them up in the past, but I mean, they're readily available on the internet. Read the Declaration of Independence. Read the Bill of Rights, read the U.S. Constitution. They don't take very long. They're not very long documents. But I think many of us haven't read them, or haven't read them in 30 or 40 years, or, you know, they made you read the Declaration maybe in 5th grade, but you didn't know what you were reading back then, and it's been 50 years since then. So anyway, I just would beg you to take a moment as part of our Freedom Friday, which is Saturday, I get it. But take a moment and actually take action, actually do something. Don't just express opinions or anger. Go print these documents and read them, and hopefully you can incorporate them into your discussions and your arguments. And if you make if you make your videos like little fits of rage, at least base them upon something other than just our opinions. So please take the time to print and read these documents. They're very easy to find. They literally fit on a couple of sheets of paper, and they can be read. All three of them can be read in probably 15 or 20 minutes. So that's it. That's it for the first part of Freedom Friday, but I wanted to take us back to the original freedom, the original creation, the original separation of our country from Great Britain as we threw off the oppression that really caused us to have the fitness of mind, the intent, the commitment to freedom. It took a real despot. It took a real poor form of government. It took real oppression to give us the energy and the drive and the commitment and the stamina to throw it off and become our own country. So I wanted to bring us back to that time frame. We may be heading that way again someday. I don't know. Maybe we will have to eventually throw off our own despots, our own form of government, and reform it back to the way it was intended. I don't know. Again, I mentioned in last night's video, I don't think we're there yet, but I think it'd be a good thing if you would, if each one of us would base our thoughts and opinions and rants and anger and frustrations back on something that's a little more formidable than just our own opinions. So that's what this was for, and we'll move on to part 2 now. All right, so part 2 of Freedom Friday today is going to be a non-lethal weapon. I more than anybody probably put up so many things about all my firearms and ammunition and stockpiling and creating armories, both in Maryland here and also out in Wyoming. And then I talked about a lot of the support structures that go with it. The body armor, the different kinds of helmets. We haven't done night vision yet. I still owe you that one. And then we did a bunch of blade reviews. So the next thing I wanted to do was talk to you about non-lethal. And so I'm just going to show you the product first. So these are pretty much law enforcement size pepper sprays. So these are not the little things that we give our wives to put in their purse or our daughters to put in on their keychains. This is pretty much, you can see as big as my head. These are meant for law enforcement. They're readily available to us in the public now. And in fact, you can buy them. I mean, I bought a case of 4 of them. And so I want to talk about this for a minute. One, I know a lot of you responded to some of my videos saying you can't afford a firearm, or you're not comfortable with firearms, or you're not allowed to own a firearm. Some of you aren't even allowed to own knives or body armor or helmets. I mean, it's crazy that you choose to continue to live under that oppression, by the way. You should be considering moving away from such a government. But I don't know how many of you are now going to say, well, you're not even allowed to own pepper spray, which would be completely insane if you continue to live in that environment. But this is meant to clear not a person. So let me tell you why I chose to purchase this and have several of them here. It's really, most of my world I've created, my armaments are meant to be defensive in nature, to repel borders, protect my family, protect my stores, to protect my reserves. But if somebody were to call me and say, I need help, can you get to me? Even if it's my son in Denver or my daughter in Sarasota, I would be obligated to head out. But if I were to come upon a group of individuals, either intent on blocking my way or blocking the road, this is a way I could try to clear them without killing a bunch of people or creating a total riot situation. And I think that's what this is for. Especially if you have 7, 8, 10 of these things and they're readily available to you, you can do a lot of crowd clearing without causing a lot of death. And so this may give you some pause. This may give you some different way of thinking about weaponry that maybe you can afford and maybe you can own legally. But this is a crowd clear. You can probably clear 20, 30 people out of your way. I don't need to clear the road for all day. I need to clear the road for 15 seconds. And that's what I think I can do with this product. All right, guys, we'll wrap it up there. I just wanted to do two parts. I wanted to help you hopefully think differently and give you some options maybe you'd never thought about, or I don't know, just you know, break the chains around our brain about why we believe the things we do, and hopefully they're based upon some of those most important concepts from the founding documents, and then hopefully break some chains around how you can protect yourself, defensively or offensively. Not always just with guns and ammunition, but there are some non-lethal, and there are other options too, other than just this law enforcement level pepper spray. But there are non-lethal. I know Potter Piper was actually looking at some, essentially pepper bullets, nylon bullets, stuff like that. So things that may be more friendly to New York State, not New York City. They don't seem to even like those. But anyway, hopefully this gives you some ideas, helps you think differently, present some different options, and that's it. Hope you have a great Saturday. Hope you have a great weekend. We'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.